You didn't miss anything. It was there. You just didn't notice it long enough to exist. And the worst part is, you didn't even feel it disappear. Your thumb slowed down. Not enough to stop, just enough to erase it. Most of your reality never becomes real at all. Your thumb slowed down. Not stopped, just slowed. A few millimeters above the screen, close enough to choose, not close enough to care. There's a gap there, so small you can't measure it, so fast you can't remember it, right between stopping and skipping. Your finger keeps moving, but something inside you already continued. No decision was made, no rejection, no approval, just movement. And in that movement, something disappeared. Not because you chose to ignore it, but because you didn't stay with it long enough. You didn't feel it. You didn't mark it. You didn't register it as real. And now it's gone. Not hidden, not removed. It just never happened. You didn't decide anything. No yes, no no, not even hesitation. Nothing inside you said, this matters, and nothing said, this doesn't. It just passed through. You think ignoring is a choice. It isn't. Ignoring would mean you noticed it first. This never reached that point. There was no rejection because there was no contact. It didn't need you to push it away. It only needed this. That small gap. That moment where nothing registers, where your attention is still moving, but you're no longer there. And everything that passes through that space leaves no trace. There's a space right between stopping and skipping. You've been there before, you just didn't stay. It's not a decision, it's not even a moment. It's something in between, too fast to notice, too empty to remember, but it's always there. Every time your attention moves, it passes through it. And whatever enters that space doesn't come out the other side. Not rejected, not accepted, just unregistered. This is where things disappear. Not because they weren't there, but because they never reached you. You think reality is what you see. It's not. It's what survives this gap. Last night, lights off, only the screen. Your face lit by something that never stops moving. You scroll, face, text, video, face, text. Same motion, same rhythm. Nothing breaks it. Something appears. It almost holds you, almost. Your thumb slows down just enough, then continues. No reaction, no pause, no mark left behind. You don't even register that something passed. It doesn't feel like loss. It doesn't feel like anything. Because for you, it never existed. I did the same. Same movement, same rhythm, same absence. You didn't notice it, but it happened. Right in front of you. Something was there. For a moment, and then it wasn't. Not because it disappeared, because you didn't stay with it long enough to let it exist. That's the part you don't feel. There's no signal, no warning. Nothing inside you says, something just got removed. Because nothing was removed. It never made it in. You think loss has to hurt. It doesn't. Most of it feels like nothing. And that's why you never notice how much is gone. The next time it happened, it didn't feel new. It felt familiar, like something you've already done 100 times. No resistance, no friction, no interruption. Your attention didn't hesitate. It didn't question anything, it just continued. That's how it becomes normal. Not when you accept it, but when you stop noticing that it's happening. There's no moment where it starts, no line you cross, no decision you remember making. It just blends into everything else. And after a while, it feels like it was always this way. Today, elevator, or standing in line, same hand, same motion, same rhythm. You're not looking for anything, you're just continuing. Something happens around you, a voice, a movement, a detail in the corner of your eye. It almost reaches you. Almost. But your attention doesn't stop, it moves past it. Not fast enough to reject it, not slow enough to feel it. The person next to you says something. You hear it, but it doesn't land. The light hits the wall. For a moment, it's there, then it isn't. You don't remember it. You don't mark it. You don't even notice that it's gone. I caught myself doing the same. Same motion, same absence. If it mattered, I would have stopped. That's what you tell yourself. And it makes sense. It feels logical, reasonable, adult. You trust that thought because it gives you control. It tells you nothing important gets past you, that what matters always reaches you. But think about what that assumes. It assumes everything important has enough time to become important, that it's loud enough, clear enough, slow enough to break your rhythm. Most of it isn't. Most of it never gets that chance. It passes through before it can mean anything to you. Not because it wasn't important, but because it didn't last long enough to be felt. And you call that irrelevant. It's not just out there. It happens inside you, too. A thought begins, not loud, not clear, just something forming. Almost a sentence, almost a realization. And then you move on. Not because you rejected it, because you didn't stay with it long enough to let it become real. A feeling rises, something subtle, hard to name, hard to hold. It needs time. It needs attention. It needs you to stop. You don't. You continue. And it disappears the same way everything else does. Not suppressed, not ignored, just unlived. There are things inside you that never became thoughts, never became words, never became decisions, because they passed through the same gap. Look around, not at your screen, at people. Same posture, same angle of the head, same movement of the hand. Scroll, pause, scroll. Not stopping, just passing through. No one reacts, no one marks anything. No one notices what just passed. They're not searching, they're continuing. Different lives, same pattern. Different content, same gap. If you removed the phones, the movement wouldn't stop. That's how deep it goes. You think you see everything that matters. You don't. Most of what was there never made it through you. Not rejected, not chosen, simply never noticed long enough to exist. Every time your attention passes through that gap, something is removed from your day. Not taken, not hidden, just never allowed to become real. Conversations you didn't hear, details you didn't see, thoughts you didn't finish, feelings you didn't stay with. They don't disappear. They never arrive. And over time, this becomes your reality. Not what happened, but what survived. You think you're choosing. You're not. You're just continuing what wasn't stopped. You think your attention is under your control. It isn't. It moves until something forces it to stop. And most things don't. So they pass through, unnoticed, unmarked, unreal. You don't build your reality from what you choose. You build it from what survives your movement. You didn't ignore it. You just didn't notice it long enough to exist. And that's where most of your life goes. Not in what you choose, not in what you remember, but in what never had the chance to become real. Right now, it's still happening, even here. The ideas are human, the narration is digital, the interpretation is yours.